grey haunted eyes, absent-mindedly glaring. From wide, uneven orbits. One brow drooping somewhat over the eye. Because of a missile fragment. Still inhering skin deep as a foolish record of old world fighting. I stand ready with a boy's presumption to court the queen in her high silk pavilion.
How did it come to this? You once asked me how we should describe our love. I'd say it was a result of demons that arose from the trenches of France where death was always a bullet away. Your poems about the war spoke to a generation of men who shared in your suffering. But I wasn't allowed in.
And so they marked me dead. The day that I turned 21. They counted me as dead. Did they? The day my childhood slipped away and manhood was begun. Oh, that was the right day to die. 24th of July.
When we were married, I wanted to be everything. I wanted to be a painter. I wanted to fight for women's rights.
Our own destinies.
You wrote your children's tales to hide behind the nightmares of war, and I was illustrating them. We were partners.
Partners.
If you invite a serpent into your home, perhaps you shouldn't be surprised if it bites you.
I'd thought a cottage in the hills. A cottage full of books, pictures and brass, and cozy nooks. Flowers in the garden, walls all white. I'd live there peacefully, and dream, and write.
Dear Mrs. Graves, I regret to have to write and tell you your son, Robert Graves, died of wounds.
Hello. Oh, hello, Father. Oh, that's wonderful news. No, I'm happy for you. I've been trying to get them to see my drawings for years. Was your love for me real?
As well.
Or a product of necessity? I tried desperately to help you escape into an unthreatening world where your poetry could thrive. I would comfort you, but you probably don't remember that.
Please remember, our veterans are the fabric of our nation, and we need to support them. Our next reader requires no introduction, Mr. Siegfried Sassoon.
Thank you, Albert.
The anguish of the earth absolves our eyes till beauty shines in all that we can see. War is our scourge, and yet war has made us wise. And fighting for our freedom, we are free. Of wounds and the anger at foe, and things lost, desired. All these must pass. We are the happy legion. For we know that time is but a golden wind that shakes the grass.
Your poems went down well so soon?
As did yours. Hello, Robert.
Hello.
I was hoping to hear some of your latest, or at least an old poem, perhaps.
Robert has nothing new to share.
Another round of the Davidoff job.
Of course, Mr. Elliot.
Robert's pen has run dry.
Robert,
I know.
Yes?
A shame.
are you well?
I wonder what's that.
Yes, of course.
Yeah?
I miss our life in France.
It wasn't a bad life, though, was it? Hammering rain, mud puddles, rats, and what? The odd whiz-bang.
Yes, well. I've often said that war is not the end, but it's just the beginning of the violence. I've applied for a teaching post at a charter house next term.
What about your writing?
No one needs a war poet anymore. As they're dead. People don't like my new poetry. They like this modern, clever stuff. Besides, I need the money.
I know. There is no money in poetry.
There's no poetry and money either.
Well, why don't we spend a few days together, A guaiti back and just give your work a proper going over. Like the good old days at the army depot.
I'm yesterday's news, Sass.
How you feeling?
Steady as a rock. What do you have there?
Dear Robert Graves, on the recommendation of certain members of the teaching staff, I am pleased to offer you the position of assistant headmaster as well as teacher of English here at Charterhouse School.
Should I accept?
I mean, we need the money. We owe the grocer. I don't think the butcher's going to extend credit any longer. If you don't accept this teaching position, Robert, I don't think we can go to your parents for help anymore.
Supper will be ready soon. Catherine? Catherine, come here. Listen.
What are we supposed to be listening to?
Do you not hear the nightingale sing? The nightingale has no reason to be singing this late in the year. They usually stop at the end of June when their nesting season ends. The nightingale is the bird of what?
Poetic love.
That's right. You know, if a nightingale can sing on a chilly autumn morning as passionately and as sweetly as it does on a night in May, then there is hope for me yet.
The poet should not be merely a stream of passage between the source that is life and the outlet that is poetry. The poet should take a more active role in which he envisages life not as an influence upon the soul, but the soul as an influence upon life. task of the poet is to take the universe apart, to reintegrate it with his own vitality, and it is this reintegrated universe that will in turn possess him, give him rest. If this voyage reveals a futility, then it is a futility worth facing. Laura Riding.
Nancy!
And have a little bit of flour.
Perfect.
Nancy! She wrote to me.
Who wrote to you?
Laura Riding.
Who's Laura Riding? Well, it's different from anything else I've read. And she's talking about themes that concern women.
Well, Alan Tate at the Criterion told me that she's just won the group's top literary prize, and she's looking to move to England.
Is she? Well, you should ask her to come and stay with us. Perhaps you two can work on a project together.
You think so? Perhaps she wouldn't wish to work with me.
Why? Robert, you are a highly successful writer with 6 books to your name, not to mention 2 collections of poetry. You're wonderful. You're just going through a dry spell.
And you'd be content. No teaching post, money hard to come by, and her living with us.
Let's write to her.
Miss Riding, welcome to World's End.
You must be Nancy. Oh, England, the land of Byron, Keats, Shelley. Mary Shelley, that is. Why do you paint?
Why do you write?
Well, this talented husband of yours must write again. I have to say, your letters inspired me.
As did your poems. Measure me by myself, not by time or love or space or beauty.
That I may be on my low stone, a gauge unto myself alone.
I would have these old faiths fall
to prove that I was nothing at all.
At all,
yeah. England. I can't believe I'm here. Oh. Hello. Come in. Come and introduce yourself.
Laura, this is our daughter, Catherine Nicholson.
Hello.
What a handsome young child she is. Just like her mother and father.
Why do you wear those?
Do you not like my necklaces?
There are a lot.
Well, Catherine, it is very important to be completely oneself. Many people don't know everything about themselves, and therefore they do not light up everything around them. We need a plan.
A tutor?
Yes, Mother. Laura will serve as tutor to Catherine and also collaborate with me on my next book.
She is a brilliant poet. Robert and I both think so, and we think it's a wonderful idea that Catherine gets to see the world through Laura's eyes.
And she will live here at World's End?
Where else?
And the teaching post at Charterhouse?
I turned it down.
Robert wanted to concentrate on writing his book with Laura.
And you approve of this?
I do.
Miss Riding, how will you instruct my granddaughter in the teachings of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?
We all must return to Zion at some point, Mother.
Oh, perhaps in New York, but in England we have very clear ideas about proper religious instruction.
Of course.
Miss Riding, I'm intrigued. What kind of book are you and my son planning to write?
Well, I've been interested in a survey of the recent poetry movement. I think it's about time we put those so-called modernist poets in their place. What do you think, Robert?
I think that is a perfect idea. We should start tomorrow.
Robert, you're forgetting.
What?
I wanted to ask Laura to come into Oxford with me tomorrow.
Oh.
A friend of mine's doing a lecture on the virtues of birth control. I think it'll be very interesting.
I think you say these things to provoke me. Birth control is nothing more than an incitement to promiscuity.
Well, when half the population is under the poverty line with unwanted children, it's quite difficult to put all of my faith in God alone.
Yeah.
Miss Riding, I apologize for our children's outlook on life.
I should say, I'm very grateful to be here. And of course, Catherine's well-being and education is very important. I'll make sure to spend time with both of them, equally.
Should we agree to this situation?
If it enables Robbie to get published, then perhaps his financial position will improve.
Is that all you have to say?
A maid and a tutor are more to my son's status, anyway.
Robert needs to write a successful book, and he needs people to stop fussing over
Robert seems to think he needs another book.
Dear Mrs. Graves, I very much regret
dear Mrs. Graves.
Died of wounds. He was very gallant. Was doing so well. Died of wounds. And is a great loss.
I'm fine. I'm all right. I'm fine. I'm all right.
Two, three, 4, 5. Very good. Keep going. Yes, and spin and spin and spin.
She's mad.
Good morning. Oh, did we wake you? Yes. Sorry, we were just having so much fun. I hope you don't mind. I woke up with so much energy that I took a walk, and I thought I would make an authentic New York breakfast.
My word.
The things that you have here.
This is marvelous.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's pretend we are on Delancey Street on the Lower East Side.
What happens on the Lower East Side?
Well, a place that very few people ever leave. There are cramped buildings and crowd-filled streets with hardworking immigrants, vibrant artistic community, Yiddish theater, poetry, artists portraying the truth. The truth is what matters. As do these divine potato pancakes. Now eat before it gets cold.
Well, I, for one, haven't had such stimulating company for a long time, so thank you.
Laura, we read your poetry again last night, myself and Nancy, and with your permission, I'd like to send your work to Virginia and Leonard Woolf, who I'm hoping in turn will publish it in their Hogarth press.
My goodness, it seems you silenced Miss Riding.
These kind words from a poet like your husband, I just...
Well, here's to a long, prosperous, beautiful partnership.
Here. Laura, you have too much paint on your brush, so you need to paint from the top down.
You know, if we were in London, we could be in a newly furnished and freshly painted house.
Yes, but we're not in London, and I'd very much like to get this finished before dinner, so that we can move the bed back.
We could put it back later.
And where would you sleep, pray? in that case. What? No. No.
No.
No. No.
No. You said paint from the top down.
Right.
Right!
No! No! What are you doing? I know! You dare!
What?
Get You have such beautiful skin.
Oh, do I? We're sure we want to do this.
Well, you can always take it off if you don't like it. Jewish girls like me are always at the bottom of the pile. Being a Pole sunk me even further. Some people's opinions will simply never change. You can put on the beautiful makeup, the clothes, the jewelry, and none of it matters. Unlike you and Robert, my work is always cut out for me.
Well,
Hello.
don't you two make a fine pair?
Doesn't she look lovely?
Yes, she does.
Right, well, we are going shopping, are we not?
Indeed.
I've fixed lunch.
I can see. Looks wonderful. Keep your father out of trouble.
Bye. Safe some.
More food for us, huh?
Where are you going? Robert.
I love that you kept your maiden name. I'm sure I know the answer, but for fun. How did Robert's parents take it?
Oh, really well. The one thing his mother has never forgiven me for, though, is that Catherine took my surname, Nicholson.
Women will change the world for the better.
I tend to agree.
We need to issue a universal call to women. Reassert our power as a source more meaningful than man. More meaningful than God. Thank you. Could you get that? You know, there's plenty of room.
I'll be in the study.
I brought you some tea.
I hate the moon. And I hate it worse when it's cruel and round and bright. It can't make out the marks on its stupid face.
You have the power to understand, to forgive, to love. And that, more than anything, is what you should be putting into your writing.
And what does the remarkable Miss Riding seek?
I seek the truth. Literally. Without gloss. Without any gloss.
True poetry.
And what is true poetry to you?
True poetry makes the hairs stand on end. Eyes water, throat constrict, and a shiver run down your spine.
Sit with me. I think it works better like this.
Yes. You said that flows much better.
I want you to do something for me. I want you to write something. Here. The first thing that comes to your mind.
As I walked out that sultry night, I heard the stroke of one. The moon attained to her full height, stood beaming like the sun. To mute's ascent, love's defeat. It was a tryst had now begun.
I can't remember exactly how I felt to see the two of you there. Relief? Hope? What I did know was that I needed someone to share the heaviness of our life together. And here she was, Laura riding, our redeemer. Laura had become 100 times more important to us than we had ever hoped, and I couldn't remember a time when she wasn't with us.
Sweet, look.
Thank you. Nice useful color.
I'm going to try and sell it at the market at the weekend in Oxford. Hopefully I'll get a good price for it. Is everything all right?
Yes.
Catherine. Not many take kindly to people going through their things. Let's save this for when you're a bit older. Okay? Now, do you believe that some people have magical powers?
Yes, Miss Laura.
That's how I knew you were up here in my room. Let's see if you really believe. If you step out of this window, a magical staircase will come and take you all the way down. But only if you really believe. Do you believe in the staircase?
I do, Miss Laura.
Good girl. Now go on. I was just testing you. You did well. You believed in the staircase. But be careful. If we tell anybody about our magic, policemen will come and take us away. It's our secret. Yes? Good girl.
Daddy just had a bad dream.
Robert's asleep. Finally.
As is Catherine.
What's this for?
Mr. Broder commissioned a female nude. Horny old toad. I don't know if I'm happy with it, though. I always tend to draw the female form slightly plumper than it is. You lose the curtain.
Your phantom wore the moon's cold mask. My phantom wore the same. Forgetful of the feverish task in hope of which they came. Each image held the other's eyes and watched a gray distraction rise to cloud the eager flame.
Your writing is getting stronger. Clearer.
I want you to be everything to me. And I to you.
I wonder how limitless your devotion is. Is Robert a good lover?
If he is, I don't bring it out in him. He's been through so much. He relies on me for everything. I feel like it's become a burden.
You don't have to bear that burden alone.
You're so good for us.
You are the envy of all men, Robert.
And how is that?
American women, I understand, are very forward and experienced in certain ways.
Forward. You say what you mean, man. Two women under one roof. No wonder you want to live far from the prying eyes of London. How do you find time to write?
But, Laura and I are collaborators. Nothing more. She's a friend to Nancy and us.
Great, you're such a prig.
Had you forgotten about me?
Never. No. I was just catching up with old chums.
Isn't it fantastic to see Robert in such good form?
We were just discussing it.
What gentleman?
English gentleman.
Miss Riding, may I have a word in private?
Be careful, Elliot.
I understand you are looking to get your book published.
Yes. Yes, I'm looking forward to finding somebody who understands and champions it for everything that it is.
If you furnish me with more details, perhaps I can help. Perhaps we could meet later on. You could read me a chapter. Not staying too far from here. Well, what about it?
I'm so happy to see you back on your feet. Your book will be a success.
Our book. I owe it all to Laura.
Laura, quite the champion you are. Graves. Now, I've received a cable from your old friend, T.E. Lawrence.
How is he? I think about him often.
Quite well. A biography of his life has been commissioned. T and I both agree you're the man for the job. He pays £300.
I don't know what to say.
I have 6 weeks to research and write, however, so you'd have to write it here in London.
I accept.
Wonderful.
So long as you publish the closed caplet.
Laura's book.
Yes.
Excuse me.
She must be spectacular in bed.
I mean, it's not her writing.
What writing?
I must say, I do admire her ability to browbeat an audience into conviction through sheer force of arrogance.
Laura is surely the maddest woman I've ever met. And if Graves wasn't already mad enough by extending an invitation to a woman he's never met before.
Laura riding roughshod.
A real toffer.
And not a patch on Nancy.
Your friends don't respect me. Especially T.S. Eliot. He's made it quite clear that he only wants to help me if I fuck him. Men can be quite disappointing. Although, perhaps none more so than Lewis.
Who's Lewis?
My husband. He was a professor at Cornell when I was there. Tried to mold me into a proper faculty wife. I make my own image. Nobody molds me.
I think you are extraordinary.
You do.
Yes.
Storms always frighten me. Feels different this time. As if we've been singled out by some supernatural powers. Don't you think? You don't have to rush. What?
I have never been naked in front of a woman.
Not even Nancy. You do the rest. Good morning.
Morning.
What's the matter?
I'm ashamed.
Of what?
I took advantage of you. I'm sorry.
You didn't.
I did.
Don't be silly. I want you. You know that I want you. I want you physically, emotionally, spiritually. Did I say physically? A book on T.E. Lawrence and 300 pounds. pounds. Can't wait to move to London. Think about all the possibilities.
Well, I think Catherine would hate it. And I'm not sure Nancy would take well to the bad London air.
Nancy is a marvelous woman. I feel very close to her.
She's very fond of you.
If she knew.
She must never know.
Of course.
No. I mean it.
Of course.
Daddy! It's been so long, I miss you.
Welcome home. Oh. Welcome home. I trust the launch party was a success.
Yes, the early reviews are very favourable. And I was offered the job of writing T. Lawrence's biography.
No, that's wonderful news.
Thank you.
And I trust everything else was a success. Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. No. Oh, good Lord. Bloody hell.
This meeting of minds and bodies proved possible for three people to sustain a modern relationship without any regards to the formal conventions of society. And I can't deny my happiness as we basked in the glow of our trinity, your demons repulsed by Laura's influence.
Hello? Hello, Cape. Yes, nearly packed. No, Catherine will stay here with Nancy. Loving in part, I did not see you whole. The words I chose for your voice to speak echoed my voice with its dry creak. Now that I love you, now that I recall all the scattered elements of will that swooped by night as jealous dreams through windows to circle above beds like bats. Now that I love you as not before, the mind clears, and the heart true mirrors you. Where at my side an early watch you keep, and all self-bruising heads lull to sleep.
Laura is a great natural force like fire, or trees, or snow. And either one appreciates her, or one doesn't. Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that Laura does to please you? What does she do to make it better? I know she's beautiful.
It's not just that.
So it's a meeting of minds, and not just sex. I'm sorry if I was a bit of a duff. Right. You must go to London and lend your voice to conversation. Even if it was just for a little while.
When you get there.
Yeah. Thanks very much. Thank you.
My name is not my name. My name is the name.
Wonderful.
What clarity.
Thank you, Geoffrey.
She's the new voice of poetry. Thank you.
Right.
Don't you want to dance?
No, thank you. I don't dance.
Tell me, sir. What are you after?
You know, I could ask you the very same question.
We are actually thinking of buying a printing press.
We're going to control our work, publish those who we deem important.
As Laura said.
If you're not going to live with passion and creative instinct, then you don't belong in this new world.
The aim is to provide an alternative voice to all the staid writing that is so prevalent these days.
Would you publish me?
Totally unworthy of our attention.
Congratulations on the Lawrence book.
Seth! Are you leaving already?
Yes, but I think I've seen and heard quite enough.
We haven't even had the chance to talk.
Robert, your master's calling.
Robert?
Yes?
This is, how is it you say your name?
Elfriede.
I thought she'd be an excellent secretary.
Ah. Well, do you have any experience?
A little, yeah.
Can you type?
What's type?
Sie tippen und Stenography.
Ah, Tippen und Stenografie, also mit der Schreibmaschine einfach kurz aufschreiben. Also ja, ich habe 2 Jahre als Sekretärin gearbeitet. Also ich kenne mich aus mit informeller Korrespondenz und mit...
Fantastic! You're hired. See, I can make everyone happy.
Oh, fuck, I'm so sorry, madam. Here, let me...
It's fine. Oh. Are you the devil?
I'm sorry?
What's your name?
Geoffrey Phibbs.
And who invited you? Big crasher! Spy!
Please forgive me for arriving uninvited. I actually just came to see Laura riding. Do you have any idea where I may find her?
Laura riding.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your palm. You're not English. Scottish.
Irish.
Look at these lines. And what is it you do?
A poet? Or trying to be, anyway.
And what is it you want with Laura riding?
Well, I read her latest essay in the Defying magazine, and it's changed my life. Maybe you can introduce me.
Listen up, everybody! This is Geoffrey Phibbs. He wants to meet Laura riding. Should I introduce them? Fight.
promise you. Go and shake my hand.
Good morning. What's that?
Have you read Eliot's review of my essay?
No.
He calls my arguments derivative.
What?
How dare he? And yet I'm not surprised. Oh, I had a feeling he would do something like this. Well, don't make a meal of it.
I just can't believe that he'd compromise our friendship by writing such nonsense. Don't let it bother you. We have so much planned. It doesn't matter what they say, one jot.
Where are you off to?
Oh, Cape has been screaming at me to finish that short story, so I better get to it.
Well, I'll read it once you're done.
Oh, no, there's no need, no. Alfreda's been typing it up and running it over as we go along, so I'm sure it will be up to our joint standards.
She has a nice body. She's attracted to you.
Well, I don't see anyone but you.
Oh, he's here. Can you answer the door while you're dressed?
Who's here?
Geoffrey. You know, from the party. The young poet, Irishman.
Yeah.
He's coming to stay with us.
Why? Yeah. Right. A collection of poems from Ezra Pound.
Next.
It's Robert Frost. Oh, that's fine. Ah, T.S. Eliot. Mm-hmm. It's a pity he's such a nice man.
Give it to me.
Geoffrey, these books that have passed muster, they are now the common property of Sizen Press. We'll add them to our library.
I'm sorry, what's Sizen Press?
Sizen Press is the name of our new company, where only the most interesting voices will be heard.
Right.
And now that we've dealt with your books, we should address your clothing.
What about my clothing?
Well, it must be burned with the rest of these. Let's start with your shirt. You know, Geoffrey, I think our first assignment should be a dictionary of exact meanings.
Exact meanings?
Yes. One word, one definition.
That was meant to be our next project.
So one definition for every word. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, consider the word woman, which is derived from wife man, a non-male, a female man, as it were. An arbitrary term without defining. A thing perceived amongst other things, such as a horse, a cat, a dog.
Should we have a toast?
I'll explain more in the morning. To the Holy Circle, a new literary group.
Beware, madam, of the witty devil, the arch-intriguer who walks disguised in a poet's cloak, his gay tongue oozing evil.
Let's see.
Would you be a muse? Well, he will so declare you, pledging his blind allegiance, yet remains secret and uncommitted. Poets are men, are single-hearted lovers who adore and trust beyond all reason, who die honorably at the gates of hell. The muse alone is licensed to do murder and to betray. Weeping with honest tears, she thrones each
Where's Robert?
He went out for the evening.
This has never happened to me before.
You just need to relax.
Yeah.
It's all about willpower. You see that clock over there? Look. I can will it to stop. If I want to. Geoffrey! Nancy, how I've missed you. Our time apart has been far too long. You simply must bring Catherine to London to pay us a visit. She will enjoy the city, and Robert will be happy to see you both. Not as happy as I will be to have us all reunited together. Oh, finally up.
Good morning.
We're gonna have visitors today, so you should get yourself together.
What? Visitors? Well,
oh, too late.
Train is on time.
Hello, Nancy. This is our new friend Geoffrey Phibbs. He's a very talented young poet, and he's been living here with us. How do you do?
Geoffrey, this is my wife and my daughter.
Where is she?
Catherine, say hello to Geoffrey.
Hello. She's shy. You aren't going to say anything.
I think he's in shock. Right, well, we were on that train for ever such a long time. I think Catherine might need to stretch her legs.
Catherine, come with me. To the park we go. Geoffrey, would you like to join us?
Oh, yes, certainly. I'll just follow you out.
Very well.
Hello. I missed you.
Oh, Nancy, no. No, I'm not that way. Robert needs you. You have to focus all your energy on Robert right now.
Yes. Yes, of course.
With our champion drinker.
What can I say, Robert? I'm Irish.
It's not the only thing he's good at.
Dance with me, dance with me, dance with me.
Thank you for a splendid evening. Good night.
Not tonight.
A modern relationship without any regard for formal conventions. Could I have been so blind, Robert? I decided that evening to chart my own course. As you know, matters took a more complicated turn, if that was even possible.
Permission to come aboard.
Hello. Permission granted.
I heard you were living here. Wanted to see how you're getting on. Look at this. I like it. It's lovely. Do you need any help?
Yes, or perhaps that box. You could unload it.
Dublin.
Pardon?
Have you ever been?
No.
You should go. There's plenty of things for you to paint over there.
I'll bear that in mind.
You're very good, by the way.
Oh. Thank you. So, how's your writing coming along? Are you a poet yet?
I don't know if I am a poet. My own verses have earned me nothing but rejection slips. And besides, I have been working on a dictionary.
Dictionary?
Oh. But only words with exact meanings will be included.
Are you up to the challenge?
I feel like Laura's just using me like a pencil.
I'm sure.
Your husband is an extraordinary writer.
Yes.
I've learned a great deal from him.
I thought Laura was your mentor.
Well, she is, but I consider Robert my friend as well.
Well, if Laura finds you acceptable, you'll be Robert's best friend.
She and Robert are very close. Collaborators.
Lovers.
I could use a shot of whiskey.
Well, I can help you with that. Oh, here we go.
Well
Glasses. Teacups. Not fancy here.
Thank you. Here we are.
To you.
To your new home. You know, Robert does miss you and Catherine.
I'm sure he does. But Robert needs his space, and Laura's the only one allowed to fill it at the moment. Anyway, we're not too far. Perhaps this is all my fault anyway. But I encouraged it. He was struggling, and we invited Laura to come and stay, and she woke him up.
You're all so very honest with each other.
I wonder if the word honesty has an exact meaning.
Yes.
Davidoff for you, sir.
Thank you. Well, I've been thinking, since the release of the Lawrence book, the interest in the Great War has never been higher. You should consider writing about your experiences on the front. London is working on a memoir of sorts.
If I write another book, it would take place in ancient Rome. Murder, mystery, intrigue, violence, sex.
Yes, of course. Well, you write about that. I'm sure it'll be a bestseller. But I believe that you could write something memorable and meaningful for the people of this country. Give it some thought. So, you enjoying the money from the Lawrence book?
Thank you.
The success you craved was at hand. It's a funny life, isn't it? You exiled yourself to a private world in which Laura was the only authority. The more she failed at her writing, the more you devoted yourself to her. Love did blind you, Robert. As you wrote to me during our courtship, when a dream is born in you and you wish the dream to be true, be careful or with sudden clutch, you'll hurt the delicate things you prize so much.
Ah, right, here we go.
Shouldn't you be getting back to work by now?
Oh, it's such a nice day. Why waste it with work, eh? So I have hidden a ball somewhere on this barge. If you can find it in the time allocated, there will be a special treat in store for you. Go! Go find it!
You're wonderful with her.
Oh, I wish I didn't have to leave. Laura's being so aggressive. She's always expecting something from me.
Assert yourself. Say no.
I think I should go back to Dublin. My father keeps asking me to come home.
What's keeping you here?
I wish it were that simple. And besides, I enjoy our afternoons together more than anything. As brief as they are.
Don't try your odds on me.
I'm not attractive. I find you attractive, Miss Nicholson.
No, it's not that. I can't be a continuous player in this drama.
I won! I found the ball! Yay!
Nancy is trying to destroy the Holy Circle.
The Holy Circle. I just came here to see if Geoffrey was all right.
Where's Catherine?
She's at your sister's, and as for this Holy Circle, I want nothing to do with it. Do you understand?
Could one of you please enlighten me as to what this is all about?
Nancy has been poisoning his mind against me. I know the two of you have been spending an awful lot of time together. I see everything. Everything. Nothing escapes me.
It's probably just running an errand or
Oh,
something.
don't be an idiot. You know, this is your fault.
My fault?
Exactly. If you were spending enough time with your wife, then I could be in bed with Geoffrey right now, this very minute.
Don't you dare pass judgment on my marriage. If either of you had actually spoken to Geoffrey, you'd realise that he's deeply unhappy and he wants to go back to Dublin.
Find him.
Find him? Where exactly do you propose I start looking?
I don't fucking know, but why don't you start? Find him.
This is a mess.
You'd better be back
She's
by
mad.
morning, Robert. If either of you had bothered to talk, you would know we wanted to go back to our...
I'll be back shortly. Just me.
I've just come to collect my things. I'm going to be staying with my auntie in Putney.
You caused quite the commotion.
Where's Laura and Robert?
Well, Robert went out to look for you. And Laura locked herself in her bathroom 8 hours ago.
Maybe I should talk to her. Laura, you're a very strong-minded woman. You ask me to give up everything, to come here and work with you. You then entice me into your bed, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it because I feel that I'm in between the two of you in a way that I don't, and I suspect Robert doesn't even understand.
Laura brought you out of obscurity. And this is how you repay her. By leaving. Do you have no sense of her holiness?
Who do you think she is? The fucking Pope?
Of goddess!
Robert, Geoffrey, this isn't helping.
All I know is this bastard has turned up out of nowhere and spoiled everything. He's a selfish prig who would prefer to run back to his beloved island and stay with us.
I'd prefer to be with neither you nor Laura, if the truth be told. If anyone here deserves any consideration, it's Nancy. She's the only honest, understanding person here.
which makes my decision to leave all the more difficult.
You're a liar and a sponger. You couldn't give a damn about Nancy. And more to the point, she doesn't care about you.
Ask her.
Fucking eye.
Robert, for God's sake! Can't you see? First Laura wanted you, now she wants me, to have me, to possess me, to fuck me. She thinks she's God. Stay away from her before she destroys you.
I'll kill you.
Robert! Robert, no! No! Geoffrey!
She's bloody mental, Robert!
Stop it! Robert, stop it! Stop him! Laura, help me! Get off him!
What are we going to do about Robert?
His fate is his own.
Front is the only place for true gentlemen.
I was left for dead during the Battle of the Somme, as a shell splintered my lungs. And so they marked me dead the day I turned 21. They counted me as dead, did they? The day my childhood slipped away and manhood begun.
He's badly bruised, but he seems to have escaped serious injury. It's a different story with the American woman. Her spine, though not broken, has suffered a severe contortion. I must emphasize that the spinal cord is intact, which means that paralysis is unlikely. We'll be performing surgery to relieve the pressure, and afterwards she'll need a long period of convalescence. I'm afraid that's all I can say at this time. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Thank you.
The police are to question Mr. Graves, and charges of attempted murder are expected to be forthcoming.
There's more. Miss Riding was married before she arrived in England. And allegations of untoward behavior with an American professor who's been forced to resign his position.
Oh, Robert.
You are a very excellent and truthful person, drowning in a quagmire.
Hello.
Where's Catherine?
She's still at her aunt's.
Right.
I'm gonna take her back to World's End. What must she think? Can't choose your parents, can you?
Don't say that. You've done a wonderful job with her. Listen,
want to stay. I want to help you raise Catherine. If you let me.
Yes. How are you?
Tired. How's Catherine?
Fine. She's fine. I told her you went on holiday. I didn't know what else to say. I need to get Catherine back to World's End. We're going to leave the day after tomorrow.
Geoffrey going with you?
He is.
I do not deny anything about how good we were together. And Catherine proves that we were good.
Was it all worth it? I almost loved her. I never worshipped her. I made you something. So that you would always have Catherine near you. Has her dress and her bonnet and the cars on her head, and I'm sure it has her kind heart. You are a great writer. With or without Laura riding.
I haven't had the courage to look at myself yet. There's a mirror in there. Will you get it?
Sure.
There's usually a staircase that takes me away. This time it wasn't there. Forgive me.
There's nothing to forgive you for. Because ever since I read your poems that day at World's End, I knew that we were destined to be together.
I want you to go back to a time before me. And I want you to forget there ever was a Laura riding.
The objects of this story are simple enough. It's an opportunity for a formal goodbye. To you, and to you, and to you, and to me, and to all that. Forgetfulness. Because once all this has been settled in my mind and written down and published, it need never be thought about again. Since the end of the war, I have been plagued by recurring daydreams of war. They persist like an alternate life.
It is good to have you back, Graves.
I concur.
I've long regarded poetry as a vocation, though I never fully understood why. The poet falls in love, absolutely, and his true love is for him the embodiment of the muse. But I would seem to be denying you in your true quality of one living invisibly, against kind, as dead, beyond event. And yet the silence is false if it makes the book seem to have written forward from where I was instead of backward from where you are. How we went together to the land where the dead parade the streets, and there met with demons, and returned with the demons still treading behind. That was the beginning of the end, and the end and after is yours.
This does all feel like destiny, and I hope that everyone understands the unbelievable story that it was, and that nothing's perfect. That she made your poetry more precise is true. That her strength has helped you control your demons, I accept. That she helped you to write goodbye to all that is unarguable. You paid her bills, and you supported us. But Robert, at what cost? With love, Nancy.
Mm-hmm.